Hey, you guys, sorry about the delay. It's always something going on, but we're here. We're getting started in just a few seconds. So thank you so much for your patience. And we're about to get started in a few. Hey, you guys, sorry about the delay. There's always something going on, but we're here. We're getting started in just a few seconds. So thank you so much for your patience. And we're about to get started in a few. Hey, you guys, sorry about the delay. There's always something going on, but we're here. We're getting started in just a few seconds. So thank you so much for your patience. Well, it's been a long day. I swear we've had technical challenge after technical challenge after technical challenge, but it's all good, you guys. I just sent a new invite out to my guests so they can log on, and we're going to get started in a few. So I hope everyone had an awesome day. This is some of the things that happen. You know, a lot of times we get challenges that come up, and I swear if we don't stay focused on what we're trying to do, I swear you can. I mean, this is just part of doing business, you guys, having challenges and hanging through them. All right, so give us a few seconds and we'll be on. Thank you guys for showing up. You guys are absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I hope everyone had an awesome
Hey,
day. Hey, John, we're coming back on. Twan is coming back on too. This is how my week has been.
it's all good, but you know that starts happening when something big is about to go down.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I swear, this is so. That's just been my week, you guys. But stay tuned. Our guest is coming on in just a second,
no
and so
problem.
it's all good. We had to get everybody back on,
No
back on
problem.
the
No
hangout.
problem.
But yeah. So let me see what you guys are doing. How's everyone today? Just put something in the chat box. Hi, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining. Hey, Cindy, thank you so much for joining. Awesome, awesome. Everyone who's joining tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you, Kimberly. We are excited about having everyone out here tonight just to hear what this young man has to say. So we're going to get him back on. Get him back on. You guys, I had to boot everybody off because I was having technical challenges. So but we're going to get on in just a second. Just a second. So while we're here, John, if you don't mind, just kind of maybe introducing yourself and who you are tonight. And he's just a guest up here as well. I mean, it's just amazing. This panel is really about building entrepreneurs. This is not about any particular company. It's about building an entrepreneur and really unleashing the entrepreneur in you. So I came with the acronym called BOSS. It's called Building Your Own Success Story. So whatever your success story is tonight, we want to help you build it, and we want to show you some mechanisms, some people who have done it and are doing it right here on this panel. So, John, feel free to introduce yourself and give us a little bit about what you do, because he's amazing, you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you and good evening to everyone out there. This is John Puente. I'm coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. A little bit about myself and the businesses I do have. I'll share this with you. Not too long ago, I made a decision basically to leave my job, just fire my boss. And my background in that is I've been in retail management for 15 years. I was in retail management for 15 years. And not really happy, even though I love doing it. I work for a lot of big box stores. I just got tired of it. I got tired of reporting to somebody else every single day. And I just had it. So one day I just, made the decision, and it was kind of like, you know, you come to that point of your life where you just basically have to make the decision and just go for it. And, you know, that's what I did. That's what I did. So I had this idea of starting my own company. I was looking at some businesses, and the one thing that struck my mind was here in New York City, high school students are not allowed to bring cell phones into the school. So for many years, a lot of the kids go to like corner stores and they leave their phones there and they get charged $1 to have their store, you know, their phone stored there and then picked up in the afternoon. So I thought about it, like with my retail management experience and my background in marketing, why not make it convenient for them? And why not just give them that customer experience that I'm so used to giving my high-end customers that I was used to in retail? So I had the idea of getting a van, customizing it, getting a window put on it, and, you know, got some cameras for security reasons. And basically what I did was I just parked the van in front of the school. So from there, I created my own market. So instead of the kids, the students, going to the store where they had to wait online because other kids are, you know, buying breakfast and stuff, I made it convenient for them. So they came to me, and that's what I was doing for the past, you know, two years or so. But let me tell you something, guys. It was not easy, and it has to be easy. You know, because of that, because I decided to take that leap of faith and just go for it. I mean, I was literally homeless because I believed in my company so much. I believed in what I was doing. I knew that I was bringing a great experience to these kids. You know, I do other things with them, like I take them on volunteer trips to like soup kitchens, so we go feed the homeless. So I'm very community oriented. So from that, like I said, I was homeless for about 1.5 years, and you know, through that 1.5 years, it was really, really hard. A lot of people didn't know that. You know, they would still see me, and I would still have a smile on my face, and you know, have a great attitude. But that's the mindset that I had because I knew that it was going to work, and eventually it has worked, and it's going so well that right now, God willing, by next year I should be able to franchise. And you know, my exit plan was 4 years. So in the next 2 years, my thing is to franchise this business where I can give other people an opportunity to be their own boss and just sit back and collect some royalties from my franchise. You know, recently I appeared on the New Yorker magazine. You know, it's a big publication down here, and that was a blessing, big time. Because of that, I have some other things in the works that I'm not going to just talk about just yet, but I'll definitely in the future will definitely share with you those success that came out of that particular article and stuff. Besides that, I also have a photography business, and I'm also a filmmaker. So what I did was basically, guys, you know, in that time that I took to make that decision to just like go for the things that I wanted to do. I wanted to do all the things that I was passionate about, all the things that John loved doing, and figuring out a way to make money from it while creating a business from it. So creating a business so I can make money, so I can do the things that I want to do. And that's where I'm at right now, you know. And then recently, you know, I started, you know, marketing online just as another stream of income. Because these days, guys, you know, you got to have multiple streams of income, you know. And that's basically where I'm at right now. It's just God is really good. And like I said, you know, you guys, whoever's out there thinking about starting their own business, just make sure that you're really committed. Because one of the things about me, even while I was going through my homelessness, I stayed committed. I believed in myself. I believed that God was definitely going to open up doors for me, but I was consistent. I was consistent in everything that I was doing, and that's what you need to do. It's all about the you know, the mindset, you know, having that attitude and behavior to go with it. So that's pretty much it.
Now, John, a lot of us probably have seen you in
Can you
Facebook.
hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I'm here. I had myself on mute. A lot of you guys may have seen him in the Facebook groups, and you may have never known his story, that he was actually homeless. And we talk about a lot of times that money isn't an option, it's ideas. And who would have thought to collect cell phones, right, and house them for the students until, you know, until the school is done? Like, who would have thought of that? I was actually telling my dad about you today, and I was like, that was such an ingenious idea. But, you know, money isn't an option. It's just your ideas. So amazing story, amazing story. So guys, try and just love for a second. My background, you guys may know me. You know, my name is Tiffany Adams. I am an entrepreneur, and I'm also a project manager. And so, what you may or may not know about me is that I started my own business about 4 years ago, TMA Enterprise, where I was selling my own custom fragrance and custom jewelry. And so, a lot of you guys may or may not have known that about me. I actually had a tutoring company years ago where I was tutoring individuals. And I just started being an entrepreneur. I mean, I come from a line of entrepreneurs, from my father to my uncle to I mean, my mom had her own daycare for 10 years. So it really is about creating your own wealth and being your own boss. All right. And whatever your success story is, we're going to talk about building that. Um, so anyway, I want to bring on tonight a special guest and a good friend of mine. Now, we met on social media years ago, and you just never know what's going to happen, right? So it's always good to keep connections. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook. So you guys may see me on Google Plus. You never know when you're going to meet someone, and they just going to have an impact on you forever. And we just kind of got disconnected because that's what happens. Life happens, and you get disconnected. So literally, I was doing a hangout on Google Plus, and he saw me streaming, and he was like, "Yo, Tiff, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? We got to get up and do a hangout." So this is like 6 months trying overdue of having this hangout. And you guys, he has a phenomenal story. I want you guys to take some notes, get your pen and paper out. A self-made millionaire, and he's going to share with us tonight some awesome tips. So I'm going to mute me and John out and let you talk, Twine.
Hello, how everybody doing? My name is John Twine. Everybody knows me by Twine. I was born and raised up in Alabama, and I eventually moved down to Florida, maybe about 12 years ago, down here to Miami. And I currently reside in Miami and Dallas. My story is probably more on the common area. I'm not as fortunate as a lot of people, you know. I wish I had been, but I ended up quitting school in the 9th grade, so it kind of like gave me a setback. And at the age of 22, I went back and got my GED. And later on, I started trading stocks. That's what I primarily do. And then I got into trading forex. That's my business that I'm occasionally involved in every day is trading forex. I traded for Austin Forex for right about, and when I was trading for Austin Forex, I ended up working for them about 3 months, and then I was contacted by CNBC up in New York, and they was inquiring with my company that I was working for, where did I go to school? And unfortunately, I was the 4th best forex trader in the nation, 2010. So that did a whole lot for me. But I wanted to have my own forex company. I wanted to start my own business. So I eventually started my own business trading forex, and it's been very lucrative for me. It's a very good business. Here lately, last year, I decided to set up, a year before last, in 2012, I set up this company, Blogging Towards Success. Me and a few friends of mine, we were just going through the thing of blogging and trying to see how we could earn a particular income from blogging. And we did pretty good for about 3 months, and then Google ended up shutting us down because we was going through Google AdSense. That's what it was called. So I decided to pull away from that and try to set up a company that was going to be have an advantage for everybody else to be able to make money, because when we had Blogging Towards Success, it was a pretty good company. It was a pretty good squad that we had, but it wasn't what we really needed. So we took a break for about 7 months, me and a couple of friends of mine, and we come back and we set up Represent Your City. Represent Your City, we actually got to the eyes of Google last year, and Google invited us down to Mountain View, California twice, wanting to, take inventory of what we were doing and be able to see what we're doing with the company. They offered me the opportunity to partner with them and let them finance, whatever we was trying to do with the company, because we were trying to go worldwide with Represent Your City. Represent Your City is a company based on concentrating on like the minority groups, minority people who are trying to do their thing. Tiffany, she's one of the ones. My guy, he's one of the ones. The people that are really representing, they're doing their thing. It's to help them be able to get out there more, more eyes to be able to see them, not just here in the United States, but all around the world. They'll be able to touch bases and see, hey, this dude here is doing this, or this young lady is doing this. So that's what we really were primarily trying to set up to do. Represent your city. We make our money from from advertisers. We set the company up in Biloxi, Mississippi. I chose Biloxi because I felt like me being a black-owned business, if I go to Biloxi and I'm able to be successful in Biloxi, I can go anywhere on the globe. So that's why I chose Biloxi, and we're doing pretty good in Biloxi. It's not a company where we're making hundreds of millions of dollars or millions of dollars, nothing like that. Right now, it's not. But for one city, I average on about $40,000 a month, and July the 9th, we'll be in 284 cities. But each city that's representing, or each individual that's representing that city, we goes in and we set up the company in that city. We set up the site and everything. The only thing that person has to do within that city is just keep the site updated. They'll go out and mingle around in the community with people who are doing their own thing. And they get 40% of whatever that city is making. So, like the person that's over in Biloxi, we made 86. We broke a record for Biloxi. We made $86,400 for the month of April, and so that person gets 40% of that every month, all the way across the board. And we haven't started doing any T-shirts or anything like that because we're really set to jump everything off next month, which will be in June. Yeah, but.
Let me take a step back, Tamar, because you said like a whole lot in there. All right, so you said it's so casual, like anybody do this every day, right? So you dropped out of high school. At 22, you went back to get your GED. You started trading currency. Now, most people they can't trade currency. They don't have enough income to be able to do that. CNBC saw you, and you were number 4 in the nation trading. Is that correct?
Yeah, CNBC, Robin from CNBC, she contacted, at the time, the person that owned the company, Bernie Madoff, their people was the one who owned the company. But they contacted us, they contacted my boss, and was inquiring about me. Whenever you're trading like stocks, or whenever you're trading currency, Forex, well, a lot of people, let me tell you about what Forex is. A lot of people are not familiar with Forex. Forex is short for foreign exchange. Just like you would go and you would purchase stocks in, say, like Walmart, when you're dealing with Forex, it's a much bigger market. Something like $4.7 trillion being traded a day in the Forex market. However, on the U.S. stock market, it's only about $25 billion trading a day. So you can see the difference between how much money is actually being exchanging hands here every day with the Forex market. The Forex market it's like you're buying a particular country. When you're buying the euro dollar or the US dollar, you're actually buying a piece of that country. That's the same way it is with trading stocks. When you go in and you buy stocks from, say, Walmart, you're buying a piece of Walmart. Well, when someone tells you that they're buying euro dollars, they're buying a piece of that country. Or they tell you that they're buying the U.S. dollar to trade the U.S. dollar over, say, the Japanese yen. They're buying the U.S. dollar. They're buying a piece of that country at that particular time. It's a big market. When I started trading, I think when I started trading on my own account, I started with like $10,000. Yeah, it was $10,000 on my birthday. I traded, and I made like $140,000 within like 4 days off of that $10,000. But since then, I've done, God has blessed me to do pretty well with that. In that particular business, I've made anywhere from like 100,000 one day, and I may not make but 3,000 one day. But this market is something that I like doing because it doesn't require me to spend a lot of time doing it. I can wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, trade on the Asian market, and maybe make me $2,000 or $3,000, or maybe $1,000. and I can call it quits for the day. I can go play golf. I can fly and go see relatives or whatever, you know. And the exciting thing about trading forex is, uh, long as I have a signal on my laptop or my phone, I can trade from anywhere. You know, I like that type of life. So with Represent Your City, that's what inspired me to do Represent Your City. Everybody who's going to be working with Represent Your City will be working from home. I set that up because it's a lot of single moms at home, and it's a lot of single dads at home. You know, it's a lot of couples who would love to be able to spend time with their family. You know, you have a lot of kids who are, you know, kind of like getting astray because the parents are too tired coming in from work. They're not able to give them that adequate time that they would need to show the love and, you know, and the discipline, you know, at the same time. So with Represent Your City, I wanted all my employees to be able to, if they want to go to Disneyland and stay for 2 or 3 weeks, they can do that. Take your laptop with you. You know, you spend a few minutes a day, you know, doing your job or whatever you got to do. And that's it. You know, that's what I wanted to do because that's the life that I like. You know.
So Keisha, so I'm gonna interrupt you for 1 second. We have Keisha Bass who joined us, and you were talking about working from home, working from your phone, and that sounds like Keisha Bass. And Keisha Bass is a entrepreneur herself. I think last month she closed. Keisha, maybe I'm lying, 18K. Is that correct? 18,000 in
Yeah,
last month,
one about there.
something
Yeah.
around. So, Twan, I'm gonna let her jump in and introduce herself so you can get to know Keisha Bass as well. Again, another successful entrepreneur on the panel. So, Keisha, introduce yourself for us.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I was so intrigued listening to I'm sorry, and I didn't catch your name. I don't want to say it wrong, but anyways. And
He
hey,
goes by,
John.
he goes by Twan.
What's that?
He goes by Twan.
Fine. Hey, I was just, I'm an opportunist. Okay, so anytime, you begin to talk about what you're talking about, then I actually was born in Louisiana. So I was born in Delhi, Louisiana. I actually have traveled to Biloxi, Mississippi, and hung out down there. When I came to Biloxi, Mississippi, I didn't have enough money to buy anything, and I was driving along the waterfront. And was like, man, I would love to, own a piece of property at home. But this was before Katrina hit, so I'm not quite sure what's happened down there now. But yeah, I actually, got started online back in 2008, and struggled, trying to figure out this work from home thing. I have 2 sons. I never wanted to, punch a clock, per se. I've always been, someone who wanted to own her own time, and got, just ended up finding an opportunity that really worked for me. But I do believe, that, opportunity is everywhere. And so I was actually, it's interesting that you've invited me here tonight, because I was just speaking with someone earlier about investing and stuff. And I know, I'll just speak for myself. I know that I wasn't born into a family of wealth, and so I didn't learn a lot of things about what Vine is talking about as far as the forex market, how to invest and stuff. And so I will be very transparent and say my husband and we're in a space right now where it's like we have this money, and then it's like, okay, so it's only so much stuff you can buy. What is it that now you do with your income? And so, I mean, honestly, it's a very intriguing conversation for me, because I was telling somebody I don't want to watch videos or whatever. I don't want to get into something and I got to watch all these videos about how to really maneuver my money, and allow my money to make money for me. I'm not interested in doing something like that, but I am interested in growing the money that I do have, so that I can, like you say, go spend 2.5 weeks at Disney World with my kids or whatever I choose to do, because we're all in this for time freedom. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody, we want the freedom of our time. But so I'm here. I'm excited, to be here tonight, and just like I said, to just meet John. John's always I see him on the Hangouts and stuff. But thanks for inviting me here tonight. I love you, Tiffany. I love what you do. And just thanks for bringing us together. I don't know if there's somebody in Seattle that's representing their city, but I would love to talk to you about who it is, and what's happening out here as far as Represent Your City is concerned. Because my husband and we are, very active in the community here, and I would love to know, what's happening here and who's actually, spearheading the events out in the city. So, awesome.
Thank you, Keisha. Thank you very much. So, this is what it's all about, sharing opportunity, getting people together, building their own success stories. And, I just want to go back again. You made it seem like that 40K wasn't a lot of money, right? So you was like, one of your cities broke 40K one month and wasn't doing too bad. And you give 40% of that back to the city or to the owner of that city. Is that what you said?
Um, they don't pay anything. We
Wow.
we pay for everything. They just get 40% of all of everything that's coming through that city, whether it's T-shirt sales, from advertisements on the sites. They get 40% of all that. Uh, Actually operating and running the particular site. That's basically what it is. You know.
Wow.
Yeah, and I want to respond to one of Keisha's questions. She was talking about investments and stuff like that. I get a lot of calls from a lot of people all the time. Not every day, but I get a lot of phone calls from people who want to know where to put their money, different stuff like that. Uh, Not too long ago, I don't know if y'all familiar with this company called Telex Free. A lot of friends of mine, they was involved with Telex Free, and I was giving them warnings, about Telex Free. Uh, I mean, if you see uh, an individual walking around with the chicken pox, you should be very attentive about getting too close to them. When you see a company of that nature uh, giving you all the signs and came over to the United States with the signs of doing fraudulent acts, why would you invest? But the thing was that they seen an opportunity to make money because of how hard times are. We as African Americans, when we get money, we don't want to turn money loose. You know what I'm saying? We don't. We want to turn it loose, and that should be the way it should be. But I tell you, uh, if you're going to invest in yourself. The money you have, can it, put it in a can, sit on it. Take advantage of the opportunities that you can do without using your money. You can set up a nonprofit organization, 501c3. You like helping people? You can set you up a 501c3. It can be a religious humanitarian organization, like they had all these storms and stuff that they just had. You could have been making hundreds of thousands of dollars in the government giving you money to send people there to go work and to send people to do whatever. Uh, I wouldn't want to tell. I'm not, I trade stocks. That's my thing. I trade stocks, but the stock thing is not really what I want to get into. Try to convince somebody to get into. I'd rather tell you to invest in yourself, set your own company up, and do your own thing. It's better for you to be able to manage your money that way and know where your investments is going. You got to look at the nonprofit organization. The money is actually given to you. You know, through supplies. And, I got a friend of mine, I helped him set up a nonprofit organization, I think it was in 2010. Yeah, 2010. And he liked helping people. He liked, doing events and stuff like that with the kids. He liked doing stuff with the kids. So I convinced him to set up a company where he can help kids and be able to cater to that. So he showed him how to contact Walmart, Winn-Dixie, and submit them invitations to donate. They donate this man like $12,000 in hot dogs, $8,000 in potato chips. So with that alone, you're able to go out there and actually just offer free food to the people who's attending the event. You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, you're going to have companies who are going to be paying you for sponsorship activities. They want to sponsor that event. They want their name on banners. They want their names on T-shirts. That's where you make your money at. You're going to charge them a particular price, for platinum or for gold or for bronze or for silver, and they get a certain thing. They get certain things. But look, you got companies that's going to pay $50,000 for one package. $25,000 for a package. Companies like Walmart. In the Biloxi area, we did YDE Young Entrepreneurs of America, where we was helping kids. We took kids in to help them become entrepreneurs. One little girl, we helped her. She got her own gospel magazine now. She's doing real good with that. We show her how she can make money with advertising that. She's 14 years old. And I think it was the first year, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 120,000 or 116,000 that she made. It was one of the two for the first year. That's good for a 14-year-old.
Right.
But, yeah, and she was one that she used to tell me a lot about, Twine, I just want people to like me in school, and different stuff like that. So I told her, the best way to go about doing that for the people who don't like you in school, don't worry about that. But for the people who do like you, do something for them, as well as doing something for the people that don't like you. So the band needed new uniforms. She made I think it was 116,000 that year. So I told her, I said, you tell the people that doing the pep rally, you're gonna donate money for their new uniforms, and they're gonna call you up there. And she did. Now she's the most popular student in the school because she's making more than the principal. But it's things that that we can do as a people. We especially the women. John and I. The opportunities are for us too, but the weight is leaning more so on the women's side. Yeah. But that's what I would say to you.
That's good to know. Yeah, I was gonna say, well, that's good to know, and actually, I do have some ideas. I've actually been working with young girls, but I have not set up a nonprofit or anything, and kind of been just actually self-funding the operation. So I will definitely look into that. Well, no, I won't look into it. Actually, I'll move on that one. So if some other person, somebody else told me the same thing, to really go for it.
Like I say, represent your city. We'll help you get out there to a lot of people. It's a lot of. We've been catching our eyes of a lot of big people. And right now we set up. We recently adjacent to Represent Your City. We're doing Represent Your College now, where and we're in the process of. I think the app should be completed next week, where people who wants to everybody likes to represent their city. They like to represent their college. They like to represent. So we're gonna have an opportunity for people to be able to network and be able to help each other. As well as represent their college.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, I told Twan, I said, I wish I had represent your college when I was in college. That would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go to college, but so now, I'm a lot of my family members, they went to college, and then a lot of my friends went to college. So I don't, maybe I'll get a chance to get a college vibe, through this, since I didn't get a chance to go.
You might be losing a little bit on the screen. There you go. You're back again. So this has been pretty awesome. One of the things he talked about was time freedom, and the time freedom that being his own boss is allowing him to have. And I think that's what most people out here is looking for, is time freedom, and being your own boss. I mean, building your own success story. There are people. I have people on my team that came to me for other reasons. They know what I do for a living. They know I do like product development and implementation, and they came with patents and they came with ideas, and they was like, we're trying to get this done, but they didn't have the funding. And so that's one of the things that our business is providing for them, is the funding for them to create their own success story and to be their own boss. So I actually love Twine. Thank you so much for coming out tonight and sharing with us your story. Thank you, John, and for coming and sharing your story too, because a lot of people didn't know your story. A lot of people don't know your story, so thank you for sharing your story tonight. So any last minute remarks that you may have? I mean, if you had to, John, give somebody like some key pointers for what you've done and your experiences in life and building your business, what would you say? What would you say, John?
Man, I mean, the one thing I would tell you, actually a couple of things. I mean, like I mentioned before, just be persistent, be consistent, have belief and faith in yourself, right? That you can do it. And it's kind of like you mentioned this before, like being your own boss, right? It's kind of like you want that freedom. One of my biggest whys was my kids. Coming from a divorce, I wanted to spend more time with my kids. So I created this company where every single day after school, and I'm done with my business at 4 o'clock, I'm able to go pick up my kids from the bus, spend time with them, do homework, and still do my other businesses. That has given me freedom. You understand what I'm saying? So with my business van, right, for example, my safe and secure solutions business, while I'm in the van, I'm in there on my laptop. So this is where I went into the whole internet marketing thing, because I figured, how can I leverage my time between, those 2 hours in the morning that I have collecting these cell phones from these kids to the afternoon at 2 o'clock when they come in after school to pick up the, the cell phone. And that's the time that I have. So I'm using all the time that I can to do the things that I love doing, the things that I'm passionate about, to create wealth, to create leverage, to create money, to create that freedom that all of us as bosses want. You can't think about being a boss if you're not going to take the risk. I took the risk. I was homeless for a year and a half, and thank God, because I stayed consistent, I stayed believing, I did it. I'm here. Like right now, you don't understand what's about to happen right now in my business, So God willing, things will go all great, and that's because of my consistency and my belief in doing things, period. So that's what I would say. Like, I'm going to ride this until the wheels fall off. And after the wheels fall off, I'm going to be like the Flintstones. I'm going to still be riding that car. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
I ain't stopping. I'm not stopping.
I know.
Just don't stop. Believe in yourself. And go for it. Go for it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So being persistent and taking risks. Keisha, Miss Cindy, she just dropped a question. She wanted to know what has been your key factor to success. So if you can answer that question, your key factor to success.
So, first of all, I believe that, all successful people read the same manual. Okay. So this, so when John's talking, I'm saying like, yep, you gotta be consistent, you gotta be persistent. And, if I could just add anything, it's just to take imperfect action every single day. Right. So even when I don't really know, like, tomorrow I'll be looking at nonprofit stuff and I'm like, I'll be taking imperfect action, and I take massive action. So when people are asleep, right, then Keisha Bass is up, right? and taking massive action when I don't know how to do it perfectly, but a lot of people, they get stuck in the how, and I don't worry about the how. I just say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then I just take action, towards whatever it is I say I'm going to do, and then some kind of way, then the how comes, and someone to come and say, hey, I got the answer on how you can do that. Oh, thank you. That's what I needed, right? And I just keep taking action, right? I just keep going, and then the next thing will come, and then I'll need a how for that, but I'm not going to let that how stop me, right? I'm just going to keep plowing through, right? How come, right? So that would be my thing. Take massive action. I don't care what it is that you're doing. If you're going to be a boss, you know what I'm saying? I tell people, you need more time, sleep less, eat less, whatever it takes, to get it done, okay? So that's what I would say is key to my success.
Cool. What about you, Twan? The question is, key factor to success.
I'm going to tell you this. To understand life is the key to success. And life is having the ability to retrieve and restore information. Keisha Bass, for example, she says she's going to go and she's going to study and work up on nonprofits. But in this life is having the ability to retrieve and restore information. You got to be able to take it in. You have to be able to restore it, because at some point in time you're going to need it. We only get one shot at this thing called life, one opportunity. I wish it was different, but this is the way it is.
Right.
The main focus that a lot of people kind of like they get a little too busy on when they're trying to become successful. It's better. It's like success. I don't see myself as being successful, not yet. But if someone wants to save money and it's hard for them to save it, usually the older people would say, put it somewhere and forget about it. So success, you want to just forget about it. You want to do your thing. You want to do you, because you don't want to lose yourself in what you're trying to do.
Wow.
So the most
laughing.
is for people to learn how to pray. That's going to be the focus, because the Creator is not going to let anything go on in His world that He don't approve of. So anything that I do, I make sure I get His approval first. If I don't get an answer back, okay, that's fine. But when I do talk to the Creator, I'm going to say, well, you was a little slower with your message this time than before. But at the same time, I'm going to make sure I go through Him before I do anything, because, He lays the walk out for you. If He so to speak, he's going to take care of those who want to take care of themselves and those who acknowledge him. So I always, even on Facebook, I try to always, make mention of what the Creator has done for me. I try to make mention of what He's done for other people because that's an inspiring situation for a lot of people. But for people to be successful, they're not going to be able to accomplish it the right way unless they go through the Creator first. Some people get it the other way, but I doubt any of us, that's talking here tonight, and probably some of our listeners too, is going to try to go the other way. So if you want to be successful, and just like get it approved through the Creator. It's not meant for everybody to be successful. I don't follow it. I don't consider myself to be one who's very successful right now. I'm still in the learning stages. I enjoy life. I want to have a long life, but the most powerful thing that I have in this life is the one thing that cannot be replaced, and that's my mind. So as long as I train my mind, and my mind is trained well, it will be trained enough to make me a very successful individual. But at the end of the day, no one knows what's on your mind. No one can take what's off your mind. Only you and the Creator shares that. So the mind is a very, very powerful tool. And if we train it correctly, we can be successful in what we want. So if you take, every dime I got, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to be a rich individual because I'm rich up here. Nobody can take that, and I know what's up here in this bank right here. So that's the way I look at it.
Thank you, Twine. And Melissa, see your question, and we're gonna get that information to you about the nonprofit. So we'll get that to you. If I don't get it tonight, I'll get it hopefully by the end of this week. This was a phenomenal session tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining this session. And myself, Keisha, and John, we're all in one business where we found a solution to some of the issues that you guys may be looking for tonight, talking about time freedom, making additional income to fund your dream. For us, DS Domination is just the beginning of a bigger opportunity. For some, Keisha may be starting her own, her own nonprofit. For someone else, it may be something different. I mean, John, I can't wait to hear everything that's going on when you're able to share it, because I'm excited to hear about the rest of your story. But this is a solution for people who you may not have 10K to start your own trading company, right? Not everyone has 10K to start investing in something, but we have an opportunity tonight. And what we've been involved in is a company called DS Domination. And with DS Domination, it has allowed us to be able to create income. Last month alone, Ms. Keisha Bass turned 18K working online, all right, with this organization. So we are proud of you, all right? And she introduced me into this organization. And so far within this company, I have made over $5,000 with my eBay sales and my affiliate sales with this company. So we have a solution, and I do that, you guys, while I still maintain my project management career, all right? So we have a solution to what you may need, all right? And it may just be income and freedom to become your own boss and to build your own success story. So if you was invited to this webinar tonight by someone, please make sure that you get back with them, maybe ask more questions about the company DS Domination. If you have questions about anything that Twine maybe spoke about tonight, feel free to email me or leave a comment below. We'll make sure we get you information about nonprofits, whatever you may need. But more importantly, we want you to do a couple of things tonight. We want you to, one is to realize that your mind is your biggest asset right now. Whatever you have in your mind, no one can take that away from you. What you've learned, that is your biggest asset. So we want you to take that away with you and be consistent and persistent. I talked to my dad about this webinar tonight, and he told me to tell you guys one thing, so I'm going to leave on this. He said most people don't have enough drive to be successful. He said one thing most people are, they're just way too lazy. He said they're way too lazy to really push, to really build the success that they want to have. So tonight what we want you to do is to look inside of you, figure out what your goals are, learn about ways to leverage opportunities, all right, like DS Domination, to build your own success story. So you guys, you have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you next month. We'll have another special guest on the panel. You guys have been awesome. Thank you, and God bless.
Good night. Thanks, Tiffany.